Hello again, it's Mr. Pete, your YouTube shop teacher, and I recently attended ARNFEST 2022 in early October and had a great time, and I want to show you some of the things that I came across, some of the people that I met, and a few things that I bought, and some footage that I will share with you. But as far as the still pictures are concerned and some of the other clips, I do not have the ability to do voiceovers. I hope to be able to do that when I get my new computer real soon, if I can ever figure it out. So there will not be any sound when I show the picture, so I will generally introduce it and then flash the picture or the footage on the screen. Stick with me because there's quite a few things that I want to show you, but let me start off by showing you this Craftsman speed reducer that I bought for a reasonable price. Make sure it's right side up. Now there's several videos on this, and right now I'll flash to the title of that should you want to watch that. But looking at a few other things here, I ran into a man by the name of Nick, and he gave me several neat things. He gave me this Lufkin number 7 catalog, as well as the Lufkin number 8, both in very good condition. And I love these old catalogs because I'm able to study and read about all of the early tools, and they have not made Lufkin precision tools since very early 70s. They still make tape rulers and things like that. I think they've been bought out by Cooper Industries or something like that, with, you know, big conglomerate buys all the tool companies, and everything's done overseas, and everything is made of plastic, or most things. Well, also Nick gave me a whole set of these little booklets here. This particular one is planer practice. So this was a correspondence school, and you could buy these courses, and they came almost in chapters, rather thin booklets. So these are fun to look through. Not in real good condition. Some of these I've seen before, but much of the teaching is done in the way of questions, and then you answer the questions. So pretty neat stuff. I think they did that all the way into the 40s, maybe even the 50s. This is a neat book from Starrett if you've never seen it. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, and it just has a lot of good information about their tools and how to use them. A little bit different than their catalog, and this was printed in the 80s. Maybe it's still in print, I do not know. This one's in perfect condition. But also at ARNFEST, a man gave me these 2 South Bend charts. One is decimal equivalents and the other is tap drill sizes. And these are the exact charts that my dad had in his machine shop when I was a high school student, hanging on the wall. And I think I had these on the wall also when I came here to Streeter, although I had some Brown and Sharp charts as well. Rather brittle, but they are mounted on 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch plywood, and will last many years. I hope I got some wall space to hang this up. Now I believe you can still buy reprints of these from Grizzly, who owns all of the rights to South Bend lathe. And these were printed long before zip codes. South Bend 22, Indiana. Those were postal zones. Do you all remember that? Only you old guys probably do. I bought this micrometer at ARNFEST, and I thought it was interesting. I've never seen one like this. Look at the range. The range is 1.5 to 2.5. Why would they do that? Well, this was made by Central, and most of their tools, and they were very high quality, revolved around automotive work. So I believe that this one would have been used to measure pistons, although most car pistons are over 2.5. So I really think that this is for measuring the journals on crankshafts and so on, where they would never need to go down to 0 or even to 1 inch. So this is a pretty neat one. It's fairly old. You can see the name there, Central Tool. Fairly old because it is not satin chrome, but it's in rather nice condition. And A nice item for my collection of 1,000 micro... No, I think I only got about 7. Do not forget to watch this video when available. It's all about this set of special Starrett micrometers. And yes, they are made for the blind. See the braille marks? Now I'm going to go upstairs to the computer, and the rest of the video will be done up there using various pictures and videos that I have from ARNFEST. So stick with me on that. Again, there'll be no sound other than background sounds. Okay, here I am in my computer office, and I do not enjoy computer work at all, just in case you think I do. But now we'll go into some of the pictures that I have, and here I am with Keith Rucker. I'll show you a close-up of that. He always takes a little time with me to talk and to have our yearly picture taken, and he's just a great guy. So hi Keith, if you're watching. I fully realize you can't see these pictures here on the screen, but at ARNFEST I always meet up with my buddy Brian Flynn. Hi Brian. And we just hang around for the day, but he showed me some castings that he recently bought along with the blueprints for a tiny baby bullet vise, or wannabe. It's not marked Wilton. You know, it's only about that long. Beautiful little cast iron castings along with the drawings, and also the advertisement that was in the Home Shop Machinist. So take a look at these about 6 different still pictures that I have. This would be an awful nice project for some of you guys to make, but it is kind of cashy when you see the price on this. So now we'll switch to those pictures. Take a look. Pause your video if you need to. Just as we were leaving the railroad grounds up there in Union, Illinois, where the event is held, people were packing up. So very near to where I was set up, there was a man that was selling this huge vise that had 8-inch jaws, and he said it weighed about 220 pounds. He had it marked pretty high, but it was probably worth that much. But of course he didn't sell it. But I did stop to take a picture and notice the size of my car keys sitting on top of one of the jaws. So it's just a huge vise. Really way too big for anybody to have in a home shop. It would tip the table over. A few days ago I attended with my grandson Jordan the open house at Vactor here in town where he works. And I I saw a huge Wilton vise. It was 6-inch, and my grandson noted to me that it was welded down so nobody could run off with it. Here's a picture of it. Most of you know that I have a series entitled What Is It? Mystery Tool. Well, when we were there at ARNFEST, again that's at the Railway Museum up in Union. You need to go to that, you would love it. But in one of the buildings, the wood shop they call it, there was a huge display of tools that were not identified. Well, I knew what a lot of them were, but maybe some people did not. And there was a clipboard there where you could make your guess. I don't think there were prizes or anything like that, but very interesting. I took several still pictures of this table, as well as about a 1-minute video where I scanned around all the items. So that's the granddaddy of What Is It? And it kind of put my little pathetic series to shame, but take a look at it anyway. It's October 2022 and I'm at ARNFEST, and look at the table that they have of What Is It items. Makes my little series seem kind of pathetic. ARNFEST is held annually in Union, Illinois at the wonderful Illinois Railway Museum. There's a website. I'll try to put the name here on the screen for you. But when you register, you get a lanyard and a name tag, and with that we also are allowed admittance into the museum, and we get to go into different shops that are not open to the public. So I always go to the woodworking shop, and then I finish up in the steam shop, which is just wonderful. But while we were in there, we did have a tour by a great guy, and you'll see pictures of him here in a minute, and he actually turned on this an enormous lathe that was used for turning down locomotive wheels. Now he has a set of smaller wheels in there from a boxcar that he fires this thing up, so be sure and watch this, as well as the few still pictures that I have. But to see this thing operate was rather amazing, even though he was not taking a cut. And I think he said they have to run it at like a half of an RPM or something like that when they've got a locomotive drive wheel in there. They have to take a very heavy cut initially because of the work hardening of the wheels. And I said, well, how thick is that work hardening? And I thought, well, probably 20 thousandths. He said, no, it's about a 1/4 inch thick. So that's how much they have to take off, and he said the chips are just like 1/4 inch plate when they fly off of there. So I thought that was interesting. So watch this. If you like big machinery and you like railroads, no narration now. There you go. That's slow. Settings on my fire. And while we were in the steam shop, it was so fortuitous. They came in with a diesel locomotive and they hauled out 2 different steam locomotives that were under construction, or were being rebuilt, I probably should say. And maybe you don't think it's any big deal, but I just loved watching them couple it up and then slowly move these big old locomotives that have been in there a long time out of the way. In other words, they were just shuffling things around for new projects, or I'm not sure exactly why, but it's just wonderful to be in these buildings and see this old equipment. If I lived closer and I was a lot younger, I would love to volunteer and work at that museum. It really is world class. It is the biggest railroad museum in the country. So if you are so inclined, you've got to go up there and see this, because it'll just blow your socks off. All right, now let's cut to this footage. The Saturday that ARNFEST was held was a beautiful, beautiful fall day. I have never seen that many people at the museum. I don't mean at ARNFEST itself, but at the museum, including children, where they run trolleys and trains around. And that is also the venue where they have Thomas the Train, I believe once a year, for children. I have never been there. I understand it draws a huge crowd. And you know me, I don't like crowds. Generally, I go to the Railroad Museum with my buddy Russ on a Monday, and often there's only 3 other people on the entire grounds, and that's the way I like it. Well, that concludes this video on ARNFEST 2022. Hope you found something in there of interest to you. And I will see you next time. So long for now.